But today we are doing top 20, so it's already 2:20. So let's
Yeah, we had some technical
we
difficulties with
don't
our
talk about
system
those.
here.
We don't talk about those technical difficulties. All right, so here we go. We'll start at number 20. You can go first, my friend.
All right. Number 20, I had your Maple Leafs boy, Morgan Riley.
Morgan Riley. He made the top 20. Good, good. I did not have Morgan Riley in my list. So tell me about my boy.
Morgan Riley on the year played 76 games, only 6 goals, but 46 assists. So you like to see that as a puck moving defenseman. 52 points, and he played 20 minutes or averaged 21 minutes and 36 seconds for time on ice.
Yeah,
So
Morgan Riley's definitely he stepped up comparatively speaking to last season where he was put more of a not so 2 seasons ago I should say. Last season that he had the 52 points as you said. Season before that, he kind of struggled at times because he was put in less offensive situations versus power like power. He wasn't getting a lot of power play time. Wasn't getting a lot of 4-on-4 time. He was mostly just getting just getting just defensive starts and a lot of penalty kill time. This year he played a buttload of time on ice, and he really came through for us this year. He really shown he can be a top 2 defenseman versus just a really good top 4.
yeah,
But I will go with my 20. My 20th pick overall was Ryan Ellis, who just signed an extension a couple weeks ago, which is very underrated signing. Ryan Ellis, he up 44 games played, 9 goals, 23 assists, 32 points. He did miss the majority of last season with an injury. He came back and tied for his most points ever in his career. Oh, he would have tied at least his most last year.
I had him a lot higher.
See, I couldn't because he did miss this year. He did miss a lot this year.
Okay.
I know he makes up that decor of amazing defensemen on Nashville, but it was just because he missed a lot of this year that I think when he came in right when Nashville was really striding in the season. So those point totals might be a little bit more inflated versus him coming in the beginning of the season when they were doing too hot. Because remember in the beginning of the season last year, they weren't doing very bueno. And I think that would have affected his totals, but he
That's
finished.
a good point.
He did have 30. Like I said, he came in right when they were running, so he kind of just floated right back in. And I'm not saying that he didn't play well; he just got points. But I mean, 44 games played, 32 points is very good for a defenseman. And I'm just speaking, literally last season or 2 seasons ago, he only had 38 points. So I mean, now he had 32. It's kind of like
I had him way higher based on the fact that he only like you said he only played 44 games. I kind of just tried to project that out in my head what his point totals would be.
No doubt he would have had like 50 something.
Probably even more than that.
Yeah. But I don't know. That's just what I thought for him. Who'd you have for 19?
19. Let's see where my list is here. See, this was a person who, when I was going over the list, I kind of a living human being.
Nice.
Who I kind of forgot.
Okay.
Was on this list, but so I had Chris Letang at 19.
I don't even have him on my list. I knew he was there. I just don't like Chris Letang. He is such a liability on the ice now.
He's hurt constantly.
He had a stroke.
Yep.
By the way.
Yeah.
Not saying that people against strokes, whatever, you get what I'm saying. He's been riddled with injuries these last couple years, and I don't know. He just wasn't that good in my opinion, these last 2 seasons. Even in the postseason, 2 years ago, when he did come back, it just wasn't. He wasn't good, and then this season again wasn't that good. I don't know. He's just not a top pairing defenseman. And they keep using him as a top pairing defenseman because you're paying him like a top pairing defenseman. The guy, how old is he? 31. He's 31 years old. I think he's over 30 for sure.
He had 25 minutes and 20 seconds time on ice. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see it anymore in Chris Letang. That's just my opinion on Chris Letang. I really don't. I'm not a big fan.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. You ready for some knowledge?
Yeah, hit me.
All right. So 19 for me, I have Torrey Krug. 76 games played, 14 goals, 45 assists, 59 points, which is a career high. He led Boston in Boston in D scoring. He was ninth in defenseman in scoring, fourth on the Bruins in scoring. He led Boston defensemen in scoring since the 2013-14 season. So he's been the top scoring defenseman every season. And this is the most points by a Boston Bruins defenseman since Ray Bourque's 82-point season in the 1995-96 season.
Yeah, Krug, look, he's a great young player in this league. I had him higher on my list.
Yeah, there's some players on this list for me. Yeah, Torrey Krug's definitely. I looked at the stats. So I was like, I don't remember anybody who's had that many points offensively as a defenseman for them. And I was like, it couldn't have been since Ray Bourque. I was like, that's nuts. Of it 20 years ago, Ray Bourque.
Wow, that's shocking, especially with Chara being there.
Well, Chara's never been in Chara's highest point total was like 52 points for them.
Yeah.
51, 52 points. But just thinking about that, I was like, wow, okay, cool. Anyway, yep. That's my 19th pick. We went through yours. What's your number?
Did you have Chara on your list?
I did not have Chara.
I didn't either.
I really didn't have a lot of the old guard on this list at all.
They're kind of starting to fall off.
They have. Shea Weber's gone. Chara's gone. Keith is not on my list. Suter's still there. But anyway, you already said your 19th, right? So 18. Who'd you have for 18?
So we're on number 18.
We're moving on up.
I had Kevin Shattenkirk.
The Shat man.
only played 46 games last year, but put up 23 points. So
that's something.
Projected. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to project this out throughout the full season.
Okay.
He's still a very effective player. Averaged 20 minutes and 16 seconds on time on ice, so not a huge workload. But
I could have him on my list.
Still an effective. Why? Not enough games played?
I know. It's just he's a good defenseman when healthy, but he's not a good defenseman. He's not good defensively.
See, that was the other thing that was so hard for me in this list because I could have picked like guys like Hjalmarsson, who's just phenomenal defensively.
I thought about it. I really thought about it for these last couple of picks. I really thought it. I thought about having him over Torrey Krug, and I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I really thought about it. He's just so good defensively, Hjalmarsson is. But no, I don't blame you for having Shattenkirk because when he is healthy, he is a really good puck mover. He is good at getting the puck out of his zone. Phenomenal offensively. He's just very average defensively, and that's just. And you saw it during when the Washington Capitals picked him up. He was not good. He wasn't clutch for him, and he let him down a lot. That's why they lost in the second round that year when they picked him up. And then even when he was on St. Louis for the last couple of years, he didn't come in clutch for them in the playoffs, which was very, very evident when they went to the conference finals versus San Jose. It was super evident, because when if you can't catch up to Joe Thornton, like something's wrong with you.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
If Joe Thornton is blowing past you, bud, like you're really injured or you're just done. I don't know. That might be.
It'll be interesting for me to see how his future with the Rangers plays out. This was his first year after signing a big contract as a free agent, coming back home to the New York area, playing for the team he grew up rooting for, and now, he gets half a season in there. He was banged up, and they trade everyone. They decide to blow it up.
How wicked is that, man? You sign with this team, you think it's gonna be at least a playoff team. Now everyone's gone.
I would be.
Not everybody. I mean, they traded. I mean, you know what? Their best defenseman in McDonough is gone.
Yeah.
He's going to be the best. He's going to be the player that they're going to rely on. So I wouldn't doubt that he does. He might not have the most points next season, but I think that he's going to step up a lot because he's going to be the number one guy. This will be the first team that he's on that he needs to be the number one guy.
Yeah.
Because in Colorado, they had Erik Johnson when he was there. Or no, they didn't. They traded. No, so he wasn't really. He was too young back then to really be a number one dude. And then he came over to St. Louis, and it was always you had Bo Meester, you had Pietrangelo,
yeah,
Leopold was there at the time.
Leopold. Wow.
Yeah, you had there a lot.
Name.
Exactly. He had a lot of players there that were always good defensive players with him. So for him, maybe next season, you know what? He's gonna be the guy because it's gonna be him and Ski or Shay,
Ski.
whatever his name is. That guy with the syllables. That guy.
The guy they made fun of on SNL.
Yeah, that guy. I'm not even gonna try to say his name. Ski. Shay. I think it's Shay.
I think it is Shay.
Well, either way, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, that's enough about Kevin Shatner.
Yep. Who you got? 18.
Speaking of Colorado defenseman, I had Tyson Barrie. I had 68 games played, 14 goals, 43 assists, 57 points, career high. He was fourth in team scoring, second highest power play goal average in the league, which was pretty amazing.
This guy's a phenomenal offensive defenseman.
Exactly. He was third in power play points with 30. He was tied for. There's like 20 players tied for first in power play goals. This will be the first time you're hearing he was tied in first power play goals with 7. So half of his goals were scored on the power play. He was 10th in goals scored for a defenseman. This guy is, like I said, he is a very phenomenal offensive defenseman. It's kind of weird. So last year he had 38 points, which was or 2 seasons ago was the horrible season for Colorado.
Yeah.
So he had 38 points. Season before that, he had 49. Season before that, he had 53.
Yeah, this guy's a productive player, and I guess he stands out to me because it seems like he scores every time they play the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
And it's usually one of those back-breaking goals at just a crucial point in the game.
No, you're right. Because remember when they were on that streak in the 2012 or whenever the lockout season was, and they lost their streak to the Colorado Avalanche. I remember he was the guy who scored the I think it was like a 2-1 goal, and he just went around everybody. And then I think Pat Foley was like, "Whoa, okay." Like, all right, bud. I guess the Hawks are going bad.
He just seems to play well against them, but so that's what caught my attention initially. But he's fast. He could really move the puck. He gets the Avalanche attack going, and just a good player. He's small too. Yeah, 5'10", 190 pounds, but really fast.
Like Babcock would say, he's a good player. He's a good player. He's a good player out there. He goes out for us, and he just want to go up there and play.
That's a pretty good Babcock impression.
I've had time. He's just just good old player. All right. Who was your 18th? Your 18th player.
I think we did my 18th. Yeah.
Did we? Who was your 18th?
Kevin Shatner.
Kevin Shatner. You're right. All right. So 17. 17. I had Mr. Dougie Hamilton. Yeah.
Okay.
82 games played, 17 goals, 27 assists, 44 points. The second most points for his career, which was he actually tied for the goals by a defenseman by Ivan Provorov. Who again, I didn't have him on my list either.
I didn't have Hamilton on my list.
Did you? It was a weird pick. I didn't want to pick him, but at the same time, I did ask you the other day to see if you got his fancy stats, and fancy stats. Tell me his fancy stats.
All right. Like specifically what?
Anything. Just
kind of stats.
They stick out. They're good, right?
Let's see.
Because this is the whole thing with Dougie Hamilton. Everyone likes to tell everybody that Dougie Hamilton is this fantastic defensive player with the fancy stats.
Yeah.
So tell me what his fancy.
He had 270 shots last year. 6.3 shooting percentage.
What was his Corsi?
His Corsi 4? Ooh, yeah. 57.4.
I know, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's like for a defenseman, that's phenomenal.
It really is.
Like there's if you don't know, I mean defensemen, like their Corsi ratings, they'll go really high or they'll be really low. Depends on what kind of player they are,
In all fairness, though, he only started 46.9% of plays in the defensive zone, though.
I'll argue that point just because when you look at who Calgary has on defense, you're going to be playing. You want your top defense.
Yeah, you're going to have you're gonna have him taking Ozone.
Yeah, exactly.
face
That's
off.
the reason why you got him.
Yeah.
Which goes into later. Now, this is his second time getting traded. He led Calgary Flames in scoring or in D scoring. He was fifth in team scoring.
He's only 25.
Yeah, he's traded twice. A lot of people are saying because he's a locker room distraction, he's been traded because the Calgary Flames went on like a team trip and he decided not to go because he wanted to go to the museum or something.
Yeah, I read that story too.
It's wicked. I don't know.
It's so weird.
But if he was because he's a really good defenseman, and I just find it really
I could see this if he was just an a-hole in
but he's not.
the dressing room, but he's not.
Like he's not, and I don't know. It's just maybe I don't know. Maybe he's just like a weird dude. Maybe he just doesn't want to hang out with the dudes.
But you would think like for a professional team, like everyone's not always hanging out together, right?
Yeah, no, but when they have team bonding events where it's like it's one of those things, like, and he chose not to go to those things.
Yeah,
it's like one of those.
Hey, everyone's going. It'd be really cool.
And he's like, nah, I'm gonna go eat pizza by myself. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things. I don't know. We're not in the locker room. We're just assuming things. But that's where I have him. I'm 17. What do you have for 17?
17. I had Matt Dumba.
Dumba
from the Wild. So pretty solid season from him. 82 full season, 82 games played, 14 goals, 36 assists, 50 points, 23 minutes and 49 seconds time on ice for Dumba. So that's pretty huge. Obviously, Ryan Suter's not getting any younger, and we all know about the ice time he logs per game. So anytime you can get someone else to kind of step in there, and
we got lucky with him because he was one of those guys that wasn't really thought very highly, and they were actually thinking of letting him go in the expansion draft, or trading him potentially.
Yeah,
let him go. I don't know. I've never really. I really like Dumba because his name. I think
this is by far a career year for him too.
Yeah, I mean they have a weird group in Minnesota with Brodin and Suter, where Brodin like really brings things down, but he like scores points. But but they're paying him a long contract, so it's not really talked about, you know. So I don't know. They have a weird team. They have a weird defensive team. Okay. Well. We are now we're getting up there. We're almost in the top 15 now. So for number 15, I have, we're at 16. 16, I'm sorry. 16, I have the Ghost, Shane Gostisbehere. Yeah, I have him really, really low on this list. And I really thought about having him higher, but at the same time, I couldn't. Again, he's one of those defensemen where I think he's really good offensively, and then you watch him in the playoff, and it's like, dude, do you even know what defense is? Like, do you have to turn around, bud?
Yeah.
It was a weird. I don't know. I didn't like him for that. But anyway, he had 13 goals, 52 assists, 65 points, which is a career high in games played and points. He was fourth in defenseman scoring, fourth in team scoring, third in power play, third in points per game. I'm sorry, with a 0.83. He was tied for first in power play goals. There's our second one with 7. First in power play points. Fifth in assists for defensemen. Here's trivia again. He had the most points by a defenseman in Philly since the 1993-94 season, with Gary Galli, I'm probably butchering that name, it's probably Gallet, scoring 70 points as a defenseman.
Huh.
Yep. So it's been a long time.
Okay.
Like I said, this is coming off this is a fantastic year for him, yes, but this is also coming off from a year before where he had a lot of healthy scratches, and there's a lot of times that people were saying that he's not the same defenseman as he was in his rookie season, where he had 46 points in the 15-16 season and only 39 in 16-17. They were saying he's just like a shot in the, or what are the phrases, like a flash in the pan kind of player, and it wasn't gonna contribute. He just played offense and that's it. I mean, I think he still does. I mean, I don't think he's that good defensively. 65 points is a lot of points too, so don't get me wrong. That's really good for a defenseman.
Yep.
but you also need to remember that there is defense in the name. So I have him. I have him at 16 on my list. I do like him as a good offensive defenseman. I'm not really sold on his defensive prowess.
Fair enough. I had him higher on the list.
All right,
but
who'd you have for 16?
Number 16, I had Ryan Suter.
All right, cool.
So Ryan Suter,
I had him higher. So I have something to say about him later. So yeah, you had him at number 16. Number 15. Who'd you have for 15 though? Who'd you have for 15?
Keith Yandle.
You had Keith Yandle on this list? Nice.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I couldn't have all those.
It was weird. Like I said, it was just a tough list.
This is a weird. It wasn't tough. I think it was just weird.
Yeah.
It was like
okay. Fair enough.
It's like a list where it's like, yeah, I could have him, but then I could have him, and it's like, but I don't really want to have him. All right. Tell me about Keith Yandle.
Keith Yandle. So went to the Panthers. 82 games played, only 8 goals for him, but 48 assists, 56 points. 24-29 time on ice.
Man Rocket Keith Yandle. Man Rocket Keith Yandle. Oh boy. Dude, new baby Keith Yandle, by the way. So congrats, Keith Yandle.
I'm sure, thanks for listening too, Keith.
Thanks, Keith. You're the boy. I like Keith Yandle.
He had a bad Corsi.
I don't know.
48.7.
He's not a good defenseman. Again, he's not a good defenseman.
Yeah.
He's not. That was his knock in for the Coyotes. You remember that 2012 run? He was pretty much being held by Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Yep.
And that was one of the breakout years for Mr. and Larson there. I don't know. I didn't have him on my list at all. So that was. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of offensive defensemen who can't play defense.
Yeah, I'm not really either,
forward.
but
just play forward then. What's the point of he had some good stick plays, yes, but on the other side of it, it's like, bud, they're not sending you out there in the last minute of the game when you're down a goal or when you're up a goal.
Yeah.
No, you're not being sent. I mean,
they're sending them out when they're down a goal.
Yeah, they're sending them down a goal, but not when they're up a goal. Or the last 5 minutes when you're trying to protect a lead. No, you're not doing that. They're not sending out Yandle. It's not happening. So that's what I mean. It's not. I don't like those kind of defensemen, which is why I kind of struggled with this list because I like my defensive players, and I really do think you need a good defensive defenseman to be somewhere in the higher echelon of the league. So, I mean, you look at where the Panthers missed the playoffs last year. Not saying that's all his fault, but you gotta look at the weak defense that they have there. You have Ekblad, who's good.
Yep.
Matheson is a good, but he's a younger defenseman. And then Yandle's relied a lot, and he's not really a good defenseman. So you have to pair him with somebody who can play the defense, and that's why I think Ekblad's not on my list either.
He's not on mine.
But he's been an anchor for Keith Yandle, who can sometimes pull people down in the defensive spectrum.
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion on him, but that's what I have, or what I have for Yandle.
Okay.
What I had for number 15 is Charlie McAvoy, my boy Charlie. 63 games played. He would have won. He was a rookie this season. It doesn't seem like he was a rookie this season, but I think he would have won the Calder if he would have not been injured. He had 7 goals, 25 assists, 32 points. He had the most even strength points by a rookie defenseman with 25. He plays on the top pairing with Chara, and I really feel like he extended Big Z's career because he plays such a solid. He plays like a lot of people are comparing him. They say he's like he plays like a 10-year veteran, pretty much. He's such a good defenseman. He doesn't get a lot of points. I wanna say he plays kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. He just plays a really solid game. He doesn't really get a lot of points, but 32 points and 25 even strength points shows that he can score you points in the even strength era or even strength area. And I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell you because he doesn't have a lot of points, doesn't have a lot of fancy stats, but it's just he's solid in his offensive zone, solid in his defensive zone. He's one of the top young defensemen on the Bruins, along with Carlo. and whoever else they have coming up from the draft. I don't know. I just really like Charlie McAvoy, and I feel like he's going to be an even bigger star these next couple of years with the Boston Bruins.
Yeah, fair enough. He's a great young player in this league, so
he's a good player.
Good player.
He's a good little player. All right, we're at number 14. Who'd you have number 14?
We're moving right along here. Number 14, I had Alex Pietrangelo.
Pietrangelo. Okay, I had him a little bit further, so we'll see at that.
Fair enough.
For number 14, I had Pickles.
Yeah, Mark. See, he's another one that I was like, do I put him on this list?
I know I could not have him not in my list,
and I really like it. I really like it too.
I couldn't. I could not have him not on my list.
Especially that name.
Yeah, true. Marc-Edouard Vlasic. I couldn't have him. He had 81 games played, 11 goals, 21 assists, 32 points. I think he's the best defensive defenseman in the league. He scores at a pretty good clip. He averages around 30, like 25 to 30 points every season.
Which is phenomenal for what he does defensively.
I know, exactly. He can get the puck up and he can defend it, one of the best. Like I said, he gets shadowed a lot by Burns, but at the same time, he was on Team Canada too. He's a really good defenseman. I don't know. You have to watch him to understand the stick work this guy does, because he's not overly like hitting defenseman. When he was actually drafted, a lot of them compared his defensive play to that of Lindstrom, and he is played just like Lindstrom, to be honest with you, with how he plays defensively. He's not as skilled offensively as obviously Lindstrom was, but realistically, if you watch him, it's magic. You'll have the puck and then you won't.
Yeah.
And his body position, how he forces players onto the boards, and really he forces people to do things that they wouldn't regularly do, and that's when he goes and steals the puck and throws it over to Burns, who scores a goal.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing they have going there. I was looking up more stats. He has the fourth best plus minus since the 2005-06 season.
Really?
Yep, he was the fourth best. I forgot to write that. What plus minus? But I think it was like 300 and something. So he has a crazy plus minus career number. But he's that just shows how many goals he's on the ice for, and how less he is. He only had one minus season, which was his second season when they drafted Couture like 8th overall, and they had that weird season where it's like everyone sucked. So, but yeah, that's who I had. I mean, you want to know his points for the last couple of years? He had 28 in the 16-17 season, 39 in the 15-16, and 23 in the 14-15 season. So, like I said, he's gonna get you at least 25 to 30 points. I say best defensive defenseman in the league, and probably, and I would call him a two-way defenseman, but he doesn't score at a clip like that. Maybe I think 40 would be a clip.
40 would be great.
But I don't know. I just think he's one of the best in that regard. So that's my choice for number 14. Who'd you have for 13?
Okay. Looking to number 13. I had Tyson Barrie.
Tyson Barrie.
Talked about him already.
Talked about him. Number 13. I had Big Buff.
Okay.
Big Buff. Dustin Bufflin. You ever see that? That clip with Doc, or not Doc, with Pierre Maguire, and they're doing an interview, and he skates up the Bufflin, and he's like, Big Buff.
It just creeps him out.
Bufflin.
Yeah, I think I have.
So funny. All right, I'll play it. I'll play a sound clip of it. But definitely, Dustin. Do you have him on your list, Dustin Bufflin?
I didn't.
You didn't have Dustin Bufflin on your list?
I
boy. Okay, this was one I couldn't. Dude, the guy's huge.
I know.
That one you slept on. I couldn't. Yeah, how'd you miss Big Buff?
I don't know.
He's 6'7", 260 pounds. The guy is.
He does
monster.
Yeah, he's got everything I like.
Monster. Oh my god.
He scores. He racks up the penalty minutes. I mean,
all right. So this season he had 45 points, 8 goals, 37 assists. This was the 7th straight full NHL season he's had at least that many points. His plus 15 was a career high. He had 22 power play points, which ranked 3rd on the Jets, because Blake Wheeler was 1st in power play points in the entire league, by the way. Not a big deal.
not a big deal.
He's 33 years old. He had 147 hits, topping 100 for the 7th straight NHL season. He blocked 100 shots for the 3rd straight NHL season. He had 16 points in 17 playoff games. Um, Obviously they lost to the Vegas Golden Knights, but he's
Yeah.
just a monster. Again, we were talking about this with the forwards before, but holy crap, dude! They have Blake Wheeler on the front end just destroying people's lives, and then you have back end. You got just when you think it's all safe and sound, you just hear woof, 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 smash. You're dead. You're already on the ground. You don't even know what happened. Big Bluff is like looking down at you, like you stay down.
I want to clarify too my statement of liking players racking up the penalty minutes. Not stupid penalties, but he's a guy who.
No, he does take some stupid penalties.
No, he does. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't like that aspect, but he does stick up for his teammates. He sticks up for himself, obviously, and he's very big and physical. So
I mean, dude, 6'7", 260
Yeah.
pounds, and he can actually skate.
so I really do like that part of the game, especially now that it's the NHL is going away from that.
I wouldn't
So-
say it's going away from hitting. I think it's going away from the dumb plays, and a lot of people are just taking more skill plays. If that makes sense for hitting versus hitting. Where
Yeah,
it's like
they're smarter about hitting.
and Dustin
you
Bufflin
don't-
is the biggest, smartest hitter.
You don't see people really going in for kill shots anymore though.
Yeah, because people can't like if you miss your hit, it's like you're out of position.
You're out of position, or if you do make contact, who knows if you're gonna get suspended or not.
So yeah, I guess yeah.
So
I agree with what you're saying, but I totally get you. Dustin Bufflin is definitely, I think he's one of the top 20 defensemen in the league when he's healthy. I don't know. I'm really how could you not hit Dustin Bufflin?
I don't know,
Okay, you
especially since he played on the Hawks too.
right. Who'd you had number? Did we go for your number 13?
Yeah, I hit Tyson Barrie.
Tyson Barrie. Okay, number 12. I had Alex Pietrangelo, which we said we're gonna go over a little bit later. Alex Pietrangelo had career highs in goals with 15 and points with 54 in 78 games. He had a plus rating for the third straight season and fourth in the past 5. Pietrangelo also had 13 power play points and 5 game-winning goals. He led the Blues in total ice time and average ice time. So good. He's captain of the Blues. Fantastic player. I think he's underrated and overrated.
Both at the same time.
I don't know. He's a weird dude because it's like he had 54 points this season, yes, and that's a phenomenal amount of points because he's always never really had like a lot of points.
That seems to be like a St. Louis problem though. Like if you're overrated or underrated,
yeah, it's so weird. I can't tell you that he's because he's a really good. Don't get me wrong, he is one of the best defensemen in the league, and I would love to have Pietrangelo on my team. But like, there's always it's so because I don't think he's gonna replicate this season with 54 points. I think he's gonna go back to his regular 30-40 range, and I like him as a good defense because he's a good two-way defenseman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't have much to say about him just because he's just solid. He's just a solid defenseman.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I got for Pietrangelo.
Yeah, I don't really have much on him.
It's that's all I got for Pietrangelo. All right, what do you have for number 12?
Number 12. Why did I turn my sheet over when I knew number 12 was on this side? I had Seth Jones.
Seth Jones. I have him way higher, so we'll save that. Who'd you have for number 11?
11. I had Roman Josi.
I have him way higher.
Yeah, I
have him way higher. I'll go for my number 11. I had John Klingberg. He had 67 points in 82 games last season. He was only one behind Mr. John Carlson for the league lead among defensemen. He led the position in assists with 59. He increased his point total by 18, which is very, very phenomenal. He had 204 shots on goal, which is 80 more than he had last season, 2 seasons ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's been
being way more involved in the play.
Oh yeah, he actually played 24 minutes and 4 seconds per ice time, which is an increase for each season that he's played. He's had an increase of each season with ice time. Yeah, he actually I wasn't gonna have him on this high on the list because for the last couple seasons he's been very how would you say just an offensive defenseman.
Yeah,
and it's just been kind of that's just what he is. That's just how you have him, and that's how you're just gonna keep him. this season really changed my mind because he was the top defenseman. He was the only defenseman really who did anything on Dallas. Actually, I have a Dallas jersey on right now. I like Klingberg. I really do. I
do too. I had him at number 7.
Do you? Okay, it makes sense because he's a solid
Mhm.
defenseman, and I can't tell you enough about how he can get the puck up very quickly. He can make those short shift moves. He's become very good defensively. It's kind of hard to believe. I think he's like 26 or 27 now. I thought he was way younger, but I feel like he's been in the league forever now. He's just been a really good defenseman. Again,
yeah, he's 26.
And he has a phenomenal contract, by the way, too. He's a $4.5 million contract for the next like 6 years. Well, I know when they signed it, I was like, you don't know what you're gonna get, and then now you do.
It's a steal now.
It's like, wow. If only they can surround him with like 2 other defensemen, they'll be good. Hopefully Heiskanen comes in and that changes everything. But yeah,
here's a fun fact for you. He has a 100% career face-off percentage.
Does he?
He took 1 face-off in 2016, 2017.
Oh boy, could you imagine? He comes up to the face-off dot, stares that guy in the face, is like, "You're going down." His Jim Benning comes out. "You're going down," and then wins it and then runs. Runs back to get it. All right, well, that's who I had for number 11. Who you already said you're number 11. Who'd you have for number 10?
Number 10, I had Torrey Krug.
Torrey Krug. All right, talked about him earlier. My number 10, I had Zach Werenski.
Yeah. See, Werenski's a very good player.
Oh boy. Have you ever seen Zach Werenski and Seth Jones play?
Yes.
Oh my lord.
It's nasty.
Oh my lord. Yeah. Okay, so Werenski had 77 games played, 16 goals, 21 assists, 37 points. Not a lot of points. It's his second season. He forms one of the best defensive pairings with Seth Jones, who we're going to mention later in this top 20 list. I don't know. He's just a stud. Like, he is just straight up stud man, stud muffin. He's a stud muffin for real. I don't even know how to tell you that this guy, he's going to be top 5, I bet you, in the next couple of years. I can't. He's going to break out.
At some point, he's only 21.
I know. When he breaks out offensively, it's just going to be nuts. He's going to be like Doughty. He literally plays like Doughty.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have the greatest offensive like skills like Doughty does right now. I mean, he does, but he scored 16 goals. What am I talking about? He scored 16 goals. Like, that's a lot of goals. Mm-hmm. For a defense, he almost scored 20. He could score 20.
Is that... Did he lead defenseman in goals?
No, he was Provorov did with 17. Dougie
had 17 too.
Dougie, yeah, big old Dougie. Werenski, man, you just have to watch him to understand how delicious he is on defense. He's a delicious defenseman. Let me tell you. Just watch him. Him and Seth Jones, phenomenal players. Who'd you have for number
10? Torrey Krug.
Torrey Krug said Torrey Krug. All right. We're in the top 10. So number 9. Who'd you have for number 9?
Number 9. Number 9 is a guy we talked about already. I think Shane Gostisbehere.
We did talk about him already. My number 9 is somebody that we're gonna talk about right now. Ryan Suter. 78 games played. He broke himself in the last couple games and really, excuse my language, he screwed the Minnesota Wild by breaking himself. And I'm not saying they would have beat the Minnesota or would have beat the Winnipeg Jets in that first round series, but it definitely wouldn't have been that big of a bug squashing if he wasn't there. Ryan Suter, he had 51 points. This is the second time in 3 seasons he's had at least 50. He didn't reach 50 points in his first 10 seasons.
Really?
Yep, with the Nashville Predators. He had 45 points like once or twice.
Yeah, you're right.
He was 4th in team scoring.
His highest was 46 and 11-12.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that was the last season he was with them, right? Last season he was with the Predators.
He's just a stud defenseman.
He is so good. I just want to say, he is one of those defensemen where you're watching him play, and he's one of those guys that makes everything so much easier for everybody on the ice. He is one of the top defensemen in the league because of that, because not only does he provide offense, but he provides calmness in his own zone. Because when it's going down, everyone's all over the place. He's still just standing there calm. He goes in the corner, grabs the puck, settles it down, waits for the play to happen, and then throws it up the ice for the forwards on Minnesota.
Yeah.
And he's one of those players that can settle a whole team down and help you score. He may not score the game-winning goal, but he'll be one of those players that help calm down the situation in which one of those things could have happened.
Yeah, you're right, because for the ridiculous time on ice he gets,
oh yeah,
especially in the playoffs, you never see him lose his cool.
Exactly.
So he's a leader for this team, and he's probably one of my favorite players.
Yeah, I love Suter. Suter's fantastic. And it's so weird doing these lists because it's like I know there's a lot of people who just kind of don't watch like the NHL as closely as like me or you would watch it.
Yeah.
And when you watch these players, you can really appreciate. We can say it's one of these lists where it's like you could say all you want. Oh, he's good. That you're gonna hear that phrase a lot. He's just a good defenseman. Like you have to watch these guys understand like how well and how because they control they move the puck up.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone's flying in the zone. Like you'll see these highlight reel goals. It's hard to stop those forwards, and he's one of those guys that can stop Connor McDavid going 120 miles per hour fast at him. He just stops him dead in his tracks.
Just an absolute Iron Man.
He's a monster. He's an absolute monster. Yeah, like I said, he's been first or second in the NHL in time on ice for the last 6 seasons. Phenomenal player. Top 10 for me for sure. I could not have him in my top 10.
He only had 14 takeaways though, according to Hockey Reference.
See, I can't go off of those lists anymore. It's like the takeaway, like there's no way the dude who
only
plays
had 14
takeaways and he plays the most ice time in the whole league. Like that's just what he just stare at people. Like what that just makes him lose it. Like it just doesn't make that stat just doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it is true. Maybe it is, but for me, I can't go off that stat. You know what I mean?
That's why I said it. That's very shocking to me.
Yeah, I can't do it. Who'd you have for number 9?
Number 9.
Number 9.
Gostisbehere.
Gostisbehere, right. Okay, who'd you have for number 8?
Number 8. No, I think I was going to switch this.
Okay, who'd you have? Any day now. We're coming. Don't worry. It's coming. We're looking for it.
8. I was going to put Klingberg 8.
Okay, number 8. All right, I had number 8. I had John Carlson.
Okay.
Number 8, 68 points. Led the NHL defenseman last season in points. His 53 assists were tied for third. His 32 power play points were one behind Shane Gostisbehere for first. Carlson had 146 block shots. He was second on the Capitals behind, guess, who is on the Capitals who blocks a lot of shots? Brooks Orpik. You are correct. Ding, ding, ding. And he was second. He was second in 4 game-winning goals scored. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, he kept it going. He had 20 points, 5 goals, 15 assists with a plus 11. Had 12 power play points, and he helped them win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
You have a career high in points. You have phenomenal. You led the NHL in defenseman scoring.
Paid this summer.
You get paid. You win a Stanley Cup. There's not much better. You can't really do much better than that.
He's living the high life.
He is living a high. Oh my lord. Jeez, he just went. He probably pats himself. He wakes up and he says thank you to himself.
Yeah.
Like his wife just.
I am fantastic.
Just looks at him. You're such a man.
It's like that. Did you watch the show Archer?
No, I've never seen that show.
Oh, there's a quote there where he just one day he wakes up. I am awesome.
Yeah, that's literally John Carlson.
That's Carlson.
That's nuts. You can't top that.
No,
there's no topping that. So you already know they want to stand the cup. He's an awesome player. So that's what I got for number 8. Number 7. Who'd you have for number 7?
Well, see, I decided last minute that I was going to switch Carlson and Klingberg, so they were 7 and 8.
Okay, I understand you. Number 7, I had the NHL 19 North American cover athlete, PK Subban. 82 games played, 16 goals, 43 assists, 59 points, which was a career high. He was 7th in power play scoring, but 25 points. 3rd in team scoring. he has scored at least 10 goals in the last 5 seasons, or 5 of the last 6 seasons, and has topped 50 points in the past 5. Subban won the Norris Trophy a couple years ago with the Montreal Canadiens, and he's finished third. He finished third in for voting this last season, and this is the third time in 6 seasons he's been a finalist for the Norris Trophy.
Yeah,
So,
makes sense.
It's a pretty good defenseman.
He's a. Would you say he's the most polarizing player in the league?
Yeah, I was gonna try and say something like that. I couldn't think of the word. Yeah, when he scores a goal, it's awesome.
Yeah,
I love watching him. He'll score a goal and he'll go into the middle of the ice and just be like, yeah. Like,
it's one of those things where it's like, if he's playing against your team, you hate him at that moment.
Hold on. Now you're saying that. He played. So it was Leafs versus Nashville towards the end of the season last year. And this dude dove like 40 times. He dove so many times. It was a game that the Leafs outshot the Predators like 48-5. And they ended up going to overtime. And this guy, Subban, he gets a penalty for embellishment. And I was so happy. But as soon as he got a penalty for embellishment, like Polak just slams him.
Yeah.
Like slams him, penalty for us, and we ended up getting scored. We ended up losing that game in a shootout.
That's the classic
and it was
Roman
just,
Polak right there.
It was just it's brutal, man. It was a brutal. I was so mad. I have never been so mad. I literally went on Twitter.
Wait. Did you say this happened in overtime?
Yeah.
Why was Roman Polak out there in overtime?
Dude, don't ask me. Babcock, man. I love Babcock, but I hate Babcock. That's why we got rid of Polak, so he can't play him anymore. Oh, jeez. I don't want to think of flashbacks. Vietnam flashbacks. Yeah, it's just brutal. Brutal. This guy's so. Anyway, let's get back to PK.
Yeah.
PK is very.
We're getting off track here.
Yeah, PK is a very awesome defenseman. I really do like him. I think he's one of my favorite players on and off the ice. Because of the personality he has, the organizations that he runs with the children's hospitals, with the cancer research stuff that he does with children's cancer. He's very good in the pediatric like research development. He does a lot for the African Canadian community. He's just very active, and I appreciate a lot of things he does, because he does bring a lot of like very good like energy to the league that I think needs to be out there.
Yeah,
because he's huge in the everyone can play program. He's an awesome dude. If you ever get time to look up the things PK Subban does, like you'll just love him as a human being. I mean, he gave $10 million to the Montreal hospital. Like he gave $10 million. You know how much $10 million is? That's $10 million of his own money. Like he didn't have the dude like. He didn't have the that could bankrupt people. Like he did it for the kids. Like he does everything for everyone else, and he's such a good guy. I don't know if I could rate him for number one for nice guys
for humanity.
For humanity, he's number one. He's gonna win the Nobel Prize one day.
Yeah, I mean that's so weird. I've come to the realization over the last couple of years that he's a great player. There's no way around it. Some of the earlier in his career with Montreal, and maybe a lot of Canadiens fans
Montreal
had stuff
is
to do with this
conservative.
too.
Montreal's the biggest conservative place ever.
Yeah, because
they ran him out of town because they were saying he has too much of a personality. And it's like, dude, he's so good for Montreal, and you traded him. Obviously, he's a fantastic player on the ice. Yeah. But it's like, are you kidding me? Why? I can't fathom like just let the guy be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to get too much into that, but
the thing is too about PK is, some people could say he's cocky. They don't like his attitude on the ice sometimes, but especially off the ice with all the things you said that he's done, he's never in trouble.
He isn't.
He's never doing anything bad.
He doesn't do anything bad, and that's what it is. And that's why when he got traded, it was like. It was absolutely mind blowing.
He's not parking his car inside of a Tim Hortons, Ryan O'Reilly.
Right. I don't know. It's I don't know. It's a dumb trade. I can hear Montreal fans just seething right now, just cringing. All right. So that was my number 7 pick. You had the other guy for number 7. Who'd you have for number 6?
Number 6.
Number 6.
Ryan Ellis.
Right. Damn.
Yeah,
You had them
it's just,
all.
well, it's just because what we discussed earlier. I just tried to project in my head his point totals this year,
Okay.
and he would have he was easily top 5 point totals
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt about that.
if he would have played the full season.
Yeah, 44 games played. Not really. I couldn't have him. I couldn't have him any higher than what I had him. It was just something I couldn't do. But good choice. I understand why you had him. He's a good defenseman. Obviously makes up that top defenseman core for Nashville. But I guess keeping it with Nashville, number 6, I had Roman Josi.
Okay.
75 games played, 53 points, 14 goals, 39 assists. Second among Predators scoring behind. You know what? Number 6 and number 7, when I had Subban and Yossi, you can really interchange these two. I mean, like, they're both phenomenal defensemen. He scored double digits in goals each of the last 5 seasons as well, like Subban. And he's had at least 15 power play points the past 4. He was tied for, again, here's again. He was tied for first in power play goals with 7. He led the Predators in shots on goal with 253, which is actually really, when you think about that, that's hard to do when you're a defenseman. He was top.
He had
in blocks.
120 shot blocks.
Yeah, 120 shot blocks. He had averaged 23 or 24 minutes, 28 seconds for time on ice. Phenomenal defenseman.
Yeah.
Scores you points. He makes that top pairing. I think honestly, Subban and Yossi as a pairing. Would you say it's the top pairing in the NHL?
Yes.
There you go, hands down. There you go. You get from the big blonde bear yourself. So I don't even really need to defend Roman Josi because he is the best contract in the NHL, by the way, which runs out. He's gonna get paid. He's gonna get a bucket load of money. I think he's worth $9 million.
Yeah.
I think he's worth $9 million.
Easily.
All right, that's all I have for Roman Josi because I can't.
Oh, he's gonna get paid like a.
I think he's gonna get
top 5 D.
He is top 5 D.
Yeah.
I mean, he formed one of the top pairing defensemen. I think that's gonna be a weird contract dispute because he's gonna be an unrestricted free agent. So you never know. Watch out. Your team may be getting Roman Josi. Number 5. Who'd you have number 5? Top 5.
I have PK.
PK. All right, understandable. I had Seth Jones. 78 games played, 16 goals, 41 assists, 57 points, career high. Again, he was tied with the 7 power play goals. He had 24 power play points. He had 4 game-winning goals. Shots on goal, 249. He was second in team scoring behind Artemi Panarin, who had 82 points.
Artemi.
He was 11th among D in scoring. He was tied for first in power play goals, like I said. 8th in power play points. Led the Blue Jackets in average ice time, and was 3rd in block shots with 124. Seth Jones has become. I don't know. They traded Johansson, or they traded for Johansson for Seth Jones.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine Seth Jones and that?
I know. I think realistically, I understand the trade, right?
Yeah.
You want to get a top center, and they're overpaying for Johansson right now, hardcore. You're paying the guy $8 million to get you 54 points. It's ridiculous. It is honest. I think that was the dumb trade. I understand why.
Yeah.
But then you get Turris a season later, and it's like he is a second line center who can't get the same amount of points as Johansson,
right.
And he's just as good defensively as Johansson, and it just doesn't really make sense to me, you know.
I see what you're saying.
And I mean, if you have Seth Jones who's getting you 57 points, you have Roman Josi who's getting you 57 points, PK Subban's getting you 59 points. You know what I mean? It's like, why would you? And then pay. You have Seth Jones on one of the best contracts in the league. It's $5.4 million. You have him on that kind of contract. You know, it just don't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And he plays defense, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
The guy plays defense and gets you 57 points. Johansson doesn't even play defense and gets you 54, and you're paying him $3 million more.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll make this fight every single day that is probably going to look like one of the dumbest trades in like 2 years. Like 2 years.
You think so?
I think it is. I think right now it looks dumb.
But Johansson's not even
Johansson
old,
had 54 points.
He's not old, though.
He had 54 points. You're paying him $8 million. Jones has like 4 more years at 5.4. Who's better, Johansson or Seth Jones?
Seth Jones, but
Exactly.
when you have that D depth though, and you're the Preds, maybe at that point in time you have to make that trade.
Dude, you trade Ryan Ellis. Who would you rather have, Ryan Ellis or Seth Jones?
Yeah, that's tough.
Ryan Ellis or Jeff Jones right now? Keep in mind, Seth Jones had at the time 44 points and was already.
I did have Ryan Ellis ranked higher than Seth Jones.
I know you did, but I can't. He's way younger than, I don't know.
Yeah.
And we're gonna way off topic, but you get it.
That's fair enough. Yeah, he's only 23.
Exactly. My point exactly. Seth, done. Who'd you have number 5? You had PK Subban.
Nope.
Who'd you have for number 4? Or you went for number 5? Who's number 5?
No, 5 I had PK.
Okay, who's number 4?
Number 4 I had Drew Doughty.
Drew Doughty, number 4. I have him at number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd you have for number 3?
Number 3, I had Victor Hedman.
Victor Hedman. All right, so I have them switched. So I'll talk about Hedman, and you got Doughty.
Okay.
Victor Hedman. Victor. Hey, Victor. All right. That's a movie reference. If you can name it, put it in the comment. Victor Hedman. He won the Norris Trophy last season. It was the first time he was voted the best defenseman in the NHL. He scored 17 goals, tied for the most with Provorov and Dougie Hamilton. He had 63 points, which ranks 5th overall. He had the 5th most power play points with 26. He had a plus 32 rating, which was a NHL career high and second among the defensemen. Can you name number 1 with the highest plus minus?
With the highest plus minus?
Yep. It's in the Pacific Division.
Brent Burns?
No, Brent Burns had the worst.
Yeah, all right.
He had negative like 32.
Fair enough.
It's Josh Manson of the Anaheim Ducks who had a plus 34. Yeah, I know, right? Victor Hedman.
Josh Manson's a local kid.
Oh yeah, he is. Victor Hedman. He averaged 25 minutes and 51 seconds of ice time, which is 5th in the NHL, and he had a career high 216 points. And he won the Norris Trophy. It's a pretty good year, eh?
That's a solid season.
He's a pretty good player.
Pretty good
player. Didn't win the Norris, but he's gonna get out there. He's gonna go out there and play some hockey. Good guy. All right. Victor Hedman, though, definitely. He's been one of the top defensemen these last couple of years. He's really came through since, I'd say, the 2014-15 season when they went to the Stanley Cup final. I think he's really shown that he can be a top defenseman and really stands out now, along with the top names like who would you say, like Stamkos, Kucherov.
Yeah,
he stands out there now. He's one of the top players.
I thought he stood out on that Lightning roster for a while now, to be honest.
I couldn't after the Stanley Cup Finals when he kind of came out for me, because those seasons before that were very average. So he only had 44 points. Maybe
yeah,
like
but
40.
But I think it was that Stanley Cup final where
he broke out.
Kept realizing, hey, you know what? This guy's pretty good.
Yeah, and he's like 6'7".
Yep.
He's a big man. All right, so number 3, we're at the top 3. You had Drew Doughty. Or you had Drew Doughty at 4? But
I had Doughty at 4. So I mean, same thing.
Same thing.
We switched Hedman and Doughty, like you said.
All right, take it.
Doughty played a full season, so 82 games, 10 goals, 50 assists. So a whopping 60 points for a defenseman. Plus 23. And great. I mean, he's been one of the best defensemen in the league since he's been in the league. And that huge season greatly contributed to the Kings' turnaround. He only had 44 points last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge. And this is actually his biggest point total.
Yep, it's career high
in a season. So that's a career high for him. He had a 53.2% Corsi.
4 of his 10 goals were game-winning goals, which is pretty cool.
Clutch.
He won.
Clutch.
Yeah, very clutch. He won the Norris a couple of years ago. He's been a finalist the last 3 or finalist 3 of the last 4 seasons. Like I said, a career high. He led the NHL in ice time. He's a monster on the back end for the Kings with Muzzin. I can't really name anybody else on that defense core anymore. Someone who used to be
Alec Martinez.
Yeah, there you go, that guy. He's a good. He's an awesome defensive defenseman too.
Yeah.
That we don't.
Also
we
a
don't-
clutch player.
You're right. He won 2 cups, by the way. Muzzin, 5th round pick out of Pittsburgh, randomly played on LA's roster one day, and then look at him now. But yeah, no, Drew Doughty definitely.
Drew Doughty always reminds me
You
of.
can't play, bud.
He reminds me of The Simpsons because in this Hawks fan magazine I used to get, when they would go over the opposing team's rosters, they would cut out their actual, if they had a funny picture to put in there, they would cut out their actual picture, and put that funny thing in there, and they always put the Lardland Donut guy from The Simpsons for
That's
Drew
funny.
Doughty.
That's funny. You can't play hockey, bud. Yeah, all right. So that's Drew Doughty. Number 1 and 2, I think we probably should have the same 2 players.
Is that where we're at? We're top 2 now.
Top 2, number 2. All right, who'd you have for number 2?
2, I had Brent Burns.
Brent Bryant. I had Brent Burns as well.
Yep. So I guess we know who number 1 is.
Matt Dumba. Ben Eager. Ben Eager. All right. Brent Burns, 12 goals, 55 assists, 67 points, tied second in points among NHL defensemen, or second behind John Carlson at 68. He had 27 power play points, which ranked 4th among NHL defensemen. He had 332 shots on goal, which were 3rd in the NHL, behind Alex Ovechkin and Tyler Seguin. He won the Norris last year, 2 seasons ago. He also led the NHL defenseman in goals and hasn't missed a game in the past 4 seasons.
Yeah, he's just a sturdy guy. I don't know. There's no one really I can compare Brent Burns to. He's a hybrid.
See, I would say like maybe Bufflin's the only guy, but
Yeah.
Burns doesn't even hit anybody. Like Burns doesn't
I
hit.
guess
He
that's
he plays, and I shouldn't say he doesn't hit anybody because he does hit people. He just doesn't play that aggressive of a game. He's just a really skilled player. He plays forward, plays defense. Is a better player than Johansson. Plays. I don't know. I think I don't know. I'm not gonna go back there. Brent Burns, man. Brent Burns is. I don't know. I think I should have had Drew Doughty better than Brent Burns, if I really think about it. For this season, but I like Brent Burns a lot for what he brings to the table, and I don't know, he's one of those really really solid defensemen. And again,
he's just so much fun to watch.
he's not. You know what? This season was really bad for him defensively. He really struggled a lot of times because he was playing with a different D partner other than Vlasic.
Yeah,
and I think he had a really bad plus minus.
minus 60.
Yeah, so he wasn't really that good defensively, but
which was a career low.
Yeah, but you gotta give him props though. He did put up the points. They made it to the second round this season, and yeah, Brent Burns. All
Sick
right.
beard.
Sick beard. All right, who'd you have for number 1?
Take a wild guess here.
I'm gonna go with Dion Phaneuf. Dion Phaneuf for 500.
How did you know?
I don't, because he's the best defenseman on the Senators. His contract is the best contract on the Senators right now. No, he's the only defenseman signed for the next couple of years, and he doesn't even play for the Senators.
Ottawa.
Kabanga. Well, I'm not fooling around. Cody Ceci, number 1.
Mark Borowiecki.
All right, number 1, Erik Karlsson, 71 games played, 9 goals, 3 assists, which was the 4th time in 5 seasons he's had that many points. He finished with 62 points. He averaged 26 minutes of ice time, and it was 3rd in the NHL behind Suter and Doughty, a 2-time Norris winner. He blocked 120 shots last season, which is only second to number 1 defenseman Cody Ceci. I don't think he was completely healed from that playoff run, but maybe I'm just making excuses because he didn't have a fantastic season.
No, this was his lowest goal total since the lockout year.
Yeah, I don't know if that really attributed. He still had 53 assists, man. I know he's the best defenseman. I don't know.
Yeah, his assists were right on point. So yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I can't tell you. Maybe I know people who don't watch him were saying that he didn't have the best year, But at the same time, it's like the guy still had a lot of points, and he played 71 games played, so he was injured, yes. But
he was injured, and there was just so much negative going on in Ottawa.
Yeah, there's just so much going on there, and there's a lot of distractions with whether or not he's gonna stay there next season and what have you. I just want to tell you right now that if Erik Karlsson gets traded somewhere, I think he's going to Vegas.
Ooh.
Going to Vegas. They have the prospects. They have the picks.
I heard someone else say that too the other day. I forget who it was.
Well, either way, I think they have the prospects.
Might have been one of the guys on Chicklets.
Yeah, they have the prospects. They have the picks. But that's our top 20 defensemen for the NHL. We were, like I said, it was kind of a hard list, so we said a lot of he was a good defenseman. But that's all you can really say about that. When you have a defenseman who's as good as Erik Karlsson, he has a lot of points and he plays very well defensively, and then that's pretty much what you can say for a lot of players. And it's hard for players like Vlasic who are just good at playing defense and who are just good at doing certain things like Hjalmarsson like I said, Vlasic's fantastic at it. Or you have players who are just good at offense, like Shane Gostisbehere. So, I mean,
that's a little loud. My bad.
No problem. But yeah, that was our top 20 defensemen. If you want to follow us, or if you like this video, please leave a like. If you really like this video, subscribe.
Yeah.
This is the Bagskate. You can follow us on Twitter as well, at the Bagskate. Follow me on Twitter, at Nico from the Tia. Follow Matt at
Velisca52.
And we'll see you.
We've got the Bagskate Cantina coming up.
We do. If you want to hear that, we'll be playing that in a little bit. This has been the Bagskate. Subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, and we'll check you out later.
Last time on the K-Tray Show.
What do you think was on JR's mind? And he knew what the question meant. Oh, yeah. He knew what the question meant. I can't read his mind. You sitting up there with Charlie Brown's shorts on and a suit.
Listen to Kevin Tregoning and my new partner.
Is heavyweight champion of the world. You know who I am is Rather Reflex.
On the K-Tray Show every Monday night from 7 to 9 only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
How's it going? My name is Edgar Ibarra, and I'm very grateful for all the knowledge I received at the Illinois Media School. My 15-year career in radio has been a dream come true. I'm a radio DJ, I'm on the air, and I get to be a program director for 2 radio stations in Wisconsin. My dream became a reality with the Illinois Media School. Illinois Media School is a great school with great teachers and former students now working in the industry today on the radio stations you listen to and on the TV stations you watch every day. Illinois Media School, check it out. For more details, beonair.com.
I could have said it better myself. This is Jonathan Hood, instructor at the Illinois Media School, formerly Illinois Center for Broadcasting. So many reasons for you to consider Illinois Media School: financial aid for those who qualify, real-world hands-on experience, internships, and so much more. Don't just take my word for it. Set up a tour at one of the 2 Chicagoland locations. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports to learn more. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Tune into Students of the Game, where Dr. Joseph Gregory and Dr. Christopher Rouse have the obvious answers.
Why were they dominated like that?
Why were they dominated like that? Because the Warriors were the better team. The Warriors scored more points.
All right, Captain Ivy. Can you get some specific reasons? Specific performing pieces, coaching strategies or something?
Because the Warriors shot went to the basket when the Cavs did. Students of the Game, Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Next time on the warning track. October is right around the corner.
Travis Wood with a home run to left.
The Cubs seem to be pulling away in the Central.
You are the weakest thing. Goodbye.
What can they do to ensure a third straight division title?
There, he's got it. And the Cubs win the Central Division.
For all the latest breaking Cubs and MLB news, check out the warning track with James 6 III. Tuesdays from 10 to noon on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
John Leonard would like to report. October 6th, Conor McGregor returns to fight undefeated phenom Khabib Nurmagomedov in Vegas. Will Conor reclaim the lightweight title with a savage knockout, or will Khabib take apart the former champion on the ground and break his will? For all updates on this, predictions for every UFC, Bellator, PFL, LFA, and Invicta FC, plus the most coverage of regional MMA than anywhere else. Listen live Tuesday at 12 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
The king is back.
It's a great time to be a sports fan in Chicago. The Bears have wrapped up OTAs. We're less than 2 weeks away from the NBA draft, and the Cubs and Sox are well into their seasons. On Second City Sports, we break down and analyze all the latest breaking news and notes from across the sports landscape. So join Jay Pfeiffer and Lakina McGee every Thursday from 12 to 2 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com, where it's not just sports, it's a way of life.
On September 8th, it's on in Dallas. Tyron Woodley defends the UFC welterweight title against Darren Till at UFC 228. Will the Brit come out victorious and bring the title back to Liverpool? Or will the chosen one retain his title in only his fourth title defense in 2 years? Also featuring UFC Women's Flyweight Champion Nico Montano defending her title for the first time against Bullet Valentina Shevchenko. Join us at Green Street Local for the official UFC 228 Fight Leader Report remote podcast.
Say it what now?
I'm not only on that bandwagon, I'm driving that bandwagon, and we're not stopping till we get to Cooperstown.
Hey, Steve. Did you catch the score of the Cubs game last night?
No, actually, I didn't.
You need to tune in to Covering the Bases on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Isn't that the hot new baseball show with Matt Brown and Steven Garcia?
Yes, they cover the Cubs and Sox, scores, updates, and up-to-the-minute news around Major League Baseball and more.
Covering the Bases this Wednesday from noon to 2 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com and Facebook Live.
Nothing moves the blob.
At the end of the day, where do you expect the Cubs to be is the best question.
I expect to be in the World Series. I said this going to the 20th start. You weren't here yet, but when I made my prediction for the Cubs, I expect them to be in the World Series and lose to Yankees in 6.
Give me a break. WORK. They got you if you believed into it. If you bought into it this long, they got you.
The Bob Show with Cedric Farrell and Elijah Richardson, Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
You're the
Welcome back into the Backskate.
Welcome back to the Backskate. This is the Backskate Cantina. Sorry, the thing didn't work.
What, Adobe's giving you some problems?
It's all it's working now. We're all good. This is the Backskate. This is the Backskate Cantina. The Backskate Cantina, where we talk about random things in the NHL. Just whatever's going on in the NHL a lot. Random news and goings on. Are you ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready.
Are you ready for this?
What do we got? What do you want to lead off with here? Blake Wheeler deal?
We can't talk about Blake Wheeler. Blake Wheeler, 33-year-old or 32-year-old right now. Blake Wheeler I guess he did. He scored himself a massive contract. I forget what it was. I mean, it's $8.25 million for the next 5 years. Massive contract. 32 years old.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the exact details here.
All right, well, I'll look it up. But anyway, Blake Wheeler, fantastic player. Led the league in assists this year obviously assists. Not really much else there, really. I mean, he's fantastic. He's the Winnipeg Jets
He's the captain.
Played Team USA. Solid dude. Signs up for 5 more years. Good to go. Loads. But that's pretty much, I don't know, there's not really a lot else you can really say about Blake Wheeler. It's just a lot of, fantastic player. He signed up for it. There we go. $41.25 million extension with an $8.25 million average. He was entering the final year of his contract. I think it's a dumb contract just because
he's old.
Yeah, he's an older player. I mean, so here's the breakdown of his contract. The 2019-20 season have a $4 million salary base puts a $6 million salary, which is for like a lockout protection kind of thing. In the 2020 season or the 2020-21 season, he'll have a $6 million salary. For the season after that, he'll have a $10 million salary to 21-22. So in his 35-year-old season, he'll be making $10 million. And then the next season after that, 6.5, and then his last year, $8.25 million. So not really backload. It's just a weird breakdown, weird structured contract. But hey, he gets his money. Gotta get your money somewhere. So, it'll be through his age 37 season. So that's something. I don't know what else you can really say. I know it's a hard contract. I think that money can go towards other things. Someone else. I think maybe a 2-year contract, 3-year contract would have been something that.
Would he have signed that though?
If he doesn't let him go, you have Line A, Ehlers, Scheifele.
He's your champion.
I mean, you already traded Andrew Ladd. Captaincy doesn't really matter.
That's.
So I mean, I don't really know if that's something that I would care about, honestly. 'Cause I mean, yeah, he's your captain, but at the same time, you still have Bufflin. You have Tyler Myers. You have Morrissey. You have a solid young core there.
Yeah.
You have Kyle Connor, who scored you 34 goals last season.
Yep.
Yeah, I really don't think you needed to sign him to that. If you didn't want to sign a 2-3-year contract, then you trade him.
Yeah, yes. It's just weird.
I know, that's what I would do if I was in that situation where you have one of your best players. Yes, I know he's your best player, but he is 32 years old. I think I would move him while the stock is still high.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, make it seem like you're gonna sign him and then trade him. And
Okay.
I mean, that's what I would do.
Okay.
All right, on to other news. Chara and Krug won't
Aren't
play.
going to China?
They aren't going to China.
See, maybe I could see this for Chara. For Krug, don't you think the league would want him over there?
Well, the other thing is, Krug was injured in the playoffs last season.
Yeah.
So he's still recovering.
Giving him some more time there.
Chara said he's injured, so he doesn't really want to go over there. Krug broke his ankle game 4 of the Eastern Conference, second round versus Tampa Bay. Chara is just trying to avoid wear and tear.
Yeah, Chara's old, so
41.
I think even if you're the Bruins too, you're probably saying, hey, listen, just stay back. You won't have to spend the long hours on the plane. You won't have to risk getting injured in a pointless game over there. Stay here. Make sure you're healthy for the start of the season.
Yeah, I mean, there's only, again, you want to be safe for the season that's coming up. So I mean, if you're that old and you want to be sure,
yeah,
that's just it's one of those things where you're going to China. You can go to China anytime you want. I know they want to grow the game, but at the same time, it's like for these players who are older, who've done these kind of events, it's not really special. For the younger guys and for the players who want to get into these kind of games. And again, these games don't really count either. Again, you gotta keep in mind it's only a preseason game.
Yep.
So the people who want to really vie for a spot, probably not gonna get it in China because it is an exhibition game where it's like only you really want to provide the top NHL talent. So maybe not these top. You know what I mean? It's a weird.
Yeah, that's the other thing because the league is trying to expand and grow the game overseas. China's been a target recently.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, if you are sending players over there and you are playing games there, whether it's a preseason or not, you want to have the top players on each team playing. So that's what the league wants. Boston, on the other hand, is more concerned with having their players healthy for the regular season.
Right on. And I guess speaking of like expansion, on the expansion Golden Knights, Nate Schmidt, 20 games. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. He says he is suspended without pay for violating terms of the NHLPA performance enhancing substance program.
And he's claiming, I could be wrong here on this, but he's claiming, right, that it was such a little amount.
It was like a millionth of a tenth.
Yeah.
Like little. And even he had professionals come out and tell the NHLPA that it would not even affect his play at all because of the low percentage of substance, but they're like, nope, you're gone, book thrown.
Yeah.
I don't know. He had career highs last season. He had 5 goals, 31 assists, 36 points for the Vegas Golden Knights, who went to the Stanley Cup final. This is a huge blow for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to be there for the beginning of the season, which is one of the most important times of the season.
So the first 20 games, people may not realize it, but it's so crucial to get off to a good start.
It's way easier to get points in the beginning of the season than towards the end when everyone is.
Yeah.
It's
harder to dig yourself out of a hole in the standings.
It's difficult, no doubt, and that's what I'm saying. So you're not gonna. I don't know.
It's such a huge blow, especially for a team that, like you said, you know, they went to the Cup final last year. People didn't expect them to be good. They were good, and now they have to live up to those expectations, and they're going to be. I mean, obviously, I think they were, you know, targets as the season went along last year. People were starting to give them their best effort. So you can't use that as an excuse, but, you know, it's you want your best players, obviously. And
it's hard.
Vegas is going to be getting other teams' best every night.
I'm telling you, Carlson. This makes even more of a reason to trade for Carlson.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Carlson is on his last year of his contract, along with Jordan Everly. My favorite player, Jordan Everly. He's not talking contract with the Islanders.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. He's making $6 million. He's in the final season of this 6-year, $36 million, where he signed with the Oilers back in 2012. He said to an Islanders columnist, he said, to be honest, I haven't had any conversations with anybody. So going into the summer, I was trying to focus on me and being the best I can be. And to come into camp the best I can be. Once that happens, you try to fill a role and try to make this team as good as it can be. So a lot of trying and a lot of doing. Last season, he had 25 goals, 34 assists. Pretty good season for him offensively. He had 59 points. So the season prior to that, it looked like he was on the downswing and was a very overrated player. And I think he's good for 60 points each season. I think he can maybe get back up to that 30-goal season. I'd love to see him on the Leafs, but he's gonna get paid at least $5. He's probably not gonna get $6 million again. I think for a 60-point player, maybe he'll get 60. I don't know where he'll go. That'd be awesome if he went to the Red Wings or he went to the Leafs. But I don't know. I don't think he's gonna re-sign with the Islanders. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. It's not really a big deal, at least to me. What do you think on it?
Well, you said that there's been no talks between both sides, right?
Yeah.
So who is that on? Is it his decision or the Islanders' decision?
It's his decision. I think he's making that.
So if it's his decision, with what's going on with the Islanders losing Tavares, I don't blame him. Because, you know, and that's a little bit of a weird situation because you get a great head coach coming in now in Barry Trotz. You get a guy who's going to run your organization, and Lou Lamoriello has obviously won cups before. He knows how to assemble a roster, but that was back in the day.
Ago. I know he helped the Leafs, yes, provide great, players around Austin Matthews and drafting and that sort of thing. But at the same time, he did trade back for Matt Martin, gets Komarov, signs Komarov.
That's
4
true.
years.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me. They have Leonard in net now. It's kind of weird.
But yeah, there's been some head scratching moves too. You have the arena situation too going on with the Islanders, and yeah, it's just not an appetizing place to play.
Yeah, I don't.
If you're a prospective free agent,
I'd be gone.
And how old's Everly?
27.
27.
It's gonna be his last. It's gonna be his last.
It's gonna be his last. Yeah, and he probably wants to. At this point, he probably want to go somewhere where he could play his last good years on a contender.
Yeah.
And
he'll get paid in the island. You get the money for sure. They have the money to sign him.
He'll get the money, but really, are the Islanders going anywhere?
No, that is
Because he can re-sign there too, but are they going to be able to attract other free agents to come in?
you know what? I get that, but at the same time, it's like, hey, dude, go get paid. You're gonna get money. If you want a ring, then you go play for somewhere else. But
Yeah.
the Islanders are one of those teams that don't have a captain anymore. Brings on to the next topic.
Who's their captain?
There's 9 teams now that don't have a captain in the NHL. The Leafs last night just said from Dubas that they're not going to have a captain to start the season. So that doesn't mean they're not going to have a captain during the season. So just saying there's a chance. Speaking of that, so there are 8 teams in NHL who don't have captains.
Okay.
Arizona Coyotes. Who would you pick on that roster to be the captain?
Yeah, Shane Doan's gone now.
Yep. I would go with Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Yeah, I was gonna say OEL.
He signed an 8-year contract.
Probably been there the longest too,
He has
right?
been there. He spent all 8 seasons, all of his 8 NHL seasons with the Coyotes. Is 9th in franchise history with in games played with 576. 8th in power play goals, 8th in game-winning goals. He's been an alternate. He was an alternate captain last season. Maybe. Other choices, maybe Nicholas Johnson, Derek Stepan.
Yeah, but those guys have only been there for a year, so
Yeah, but look how new the team is.
that's true.
So
And Jallerson does have 3 rings.
That is true. So there's that. Buffalo Sabres, they don't have a captain.
It's gotta be Jack Eichel,
Yep,
right?
they have Jack Eichel. I'm going with Jack Eichel. I mean, the other alternatives, Kyle Okposo, Jason Conville, who was an alternative captain
Yeah.
for Buffalo in prior seasons. The Carolina Hurricanes, I say Justin Stahl. He's been
Falk? You mean?
Justin Stahl? Justin, you're right. Jordan Stahl.
Jordan Stahl?
Jordan, I don't know why I say J. I'm like Justin Stahl. Jordan Stahl. Jordan Stahl. Yep. Or even he was a co-captain last season with Justin Falk. And even there's even Justin Williams who's been there before when they won the Cup 10 years ago. So there's
4-time Cup champ.
yeah,
I
you're
believe.
right. That could happen. I don't know. I really don't think that there's a whole big controversy there. I don't really think they need a captain. I don't think they have captain material there. Maybe Jordan Stahl, but at the same time, I think Justin Falk might be getting traded, so he's probably out of the running. And I don't know. I think it might end up being Jordan Stahl if they decide to choose. We talked about the New York Islanders for captaincy. I think they might go with Bailey, who's played the last.
Cal Clutterbuck.
Josh Bailey, he played the last 10 seasons in New York after being selected with the number 9 pick in the 2008 draft. He was an alternate captain to John Tavares. He did sign a 7-year, $77 million contract. Or not, what am I talking about? He did sign an extension with the New York Islanders. So there's that.
Okay.
I don't know. Who would you have? Their other choices are Boychuk, Anders Lee. I'd go with Bailey if they were having. All right, so the New York Islanders. They've had 27 captains in their 91 seasons, but only 5 since 2000. Can you name the 5 captains
since 2000?
Since 2000.
Obviously, you got Tavares.
No, for the Rangers.
Oh, for the Rangers.
The New York Rangers. 5 captains since 2000. Yeah,
God,
Ryan McDonough.
Okay.
Ryan Callahan. Chris Jury.
Oh my God, Chris Jury.
Jaromir Jagr.
Jagr was a captain.
And Mark Messier.
I was gonna say Messier. Yeah.
Yep. So they haven't played without a captain ever really since 2000. So I think it might be Mark Stahl because they're not really gonna trade him. He was drafted by them. He's been an alternate captain since 2010.
Okay.
He still has 3 years remaining on a 6-year contract. I don't think anybody else on the team has been tenured enough for the New York Islanders for that to be a thing. So,
all right, I'd go with Stahl.
Yeah, I mean the other alternatives are Zuccarello and Shattenkirk. He does have a long contract, which I can see maybe in 2 years if they don't trade Stahl.
Yeah.
But yeah, or Lundqvist. Lundqvist could be a choice.
Why not?
The Toronto Maple Leafs, we talked about how they are not going to go with the captain, but if I had to choose, I would choose John Tavares for the captaincy.
You think so?
Yeah, over Austin Matthews.
Okay.
The Vancouver Canucks do not have a captain anymore after Daniel Sedin and
After the
Henrik
sisters
Sedin.
retired.
No, those are respectable men.
Not around here.
Yeah. Bo Horvat is my choice. Brock Besser could be another choice for the Vancouver captaincy with that sick flow.
What did you say? Was that sick flow?
That sick flow. But yeah, I go with Bo Horvat.
Okay.
That would be my choice. For the Vegas Golden Knights, you have Derek Engelland.
That would be my choice.
That would be my choice, exactly. Or even Marchessault or Riley Smith. One of those two.
Okay.
And last pick, I know Zetterberg is the captain for the Detroit Red Wings, but he might retire or be on the injured reserve until he decides to retire because of the back injury that he's had. My choice, at least for Detroit, for right now, I think would be Kronwall. Like I know Larkin's their top player. They signed him to an extension. I know he's going to be there a lot longer than Kronwall is right now. But just for how long Kronwall's been an alternate captain, he's been an alternate captain since like 2011.
Yeah, and if this is his last year, what a way to go out for him.
That would be awesome. I would love to see Kronwall be the captain for one last year, and I don't think Zetterberg would even complain once because it's his friend. They played on. He's been around since they won the cup.
Yeah.
But either way, that was the Backskate Cantina.
Backskate Cantina.
If you like this video, please leave a like. If you really like this video, subscribe. We'll be back next week. We'll have a new host too, by the way. James Hicks III, the Slasher. He's coming on the show. So look out for that. Look out for us on social media. Look for us on Twitter at The Backskate. Follow me on Twitter at Nico from the TL. You can follow Matt at
Aliska52.
And that's it. You really, like I said, subscribe if you like this video. Leave a like, comment, whatever you want to talk about. This has been the Star Wars Cantina at The Backskate. We are The Backskate. Hope to see you guys soon.
I think we got top 20 goalies next week.
Top 20 goalies next week. You're right. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
I love you a lot.
Last time on the K-Tray Show.
What do you think was on JR's mind?